Ethan Hale had lived most of his life on the quiet, dusty edges of Brookville, a town where everyone knew everyone, yet somehow no one really knew him. The poor single dad who worked 2 jobs, slept 4 hours a night, and still found the strength to smile at his little daughter Lily every morning, as if the world hadn't been crushing him for years. His truck, old coughing smoke, and held together with hope, rattled down the empty highway as a storm gathered above the horizon, lightning flickering like warning signs from heaven itself. He had just finished a long shift cleaning at Miller's auto shop, his hands still smelling of grease, when he spotted a silver car pulled over at the side of the road, hazard lights blinking against the growing wind. Normally people in cars like that, expensive, polished, looking like they belonged in magazines, didn't break down in places like this, and especially not in storms like the one rolling in. Ethan slowed down, peering through the windshield. A woman stood outside, struggling with her phone, shaking it in frustration as if begging it to catch a signal. She wore a dark blazer now soaked from the sudden rain, her hair clinging to her cheeks, her heels sinking into the muddy shoulder of the road. Ethan pulled over without thinking twice. Helping people was instinct, something his mother taught him before she passed. If someone needs help, son, you help, even if the world never helps you back. He stepped out, pulling his worn jacket tighter against the wind. Ma'am, you need a hand? The woman turned, startled, then relieved. Yes, please. My car just died. No signal, and I'm late for something important. Her voice carried authority, confidence, but also stress, like someone used to being in control but suddenly thrown into chaos. Ethan popped her hood, leaned in, and immediately saw the problem. A fried alternator, something that wouldn't be fixed on the roadside. It's not starting today, he said gently. Storm's getting worse. Come on, you and I need to get out of this rain. She hesitated. People usually did when they saw his truck. Rusted, dented, looking like it came from another century. But the lightning cracked again. And closer this time, and she finally hurried into the passenger seat. Thank you, she said breathlessly. I'm Olivia, Ethan nodded. Ethan, where do you need to go? The Brookville County Courthouse, she answered. I have a hearing scheduled, and if I'm late, it won't look good. Ethan felt his stomach twist. That courthouse was a place he had been trying to avoid for months. A place filled with gavel strikes and judgments that decided futures. A place where his own case, one that could take Lily away from him, was currently waiting to be reviewed. He didn't ask her more. He just drove. The highway trembled under the storm. Wipers struggling, thunder shaking the windows. But through it all, Ethan stayed calm, focused, steady. Lily always said he drove like a superhero. Olivia watched him, from the corner of her eye, unsure how someone with so little could carry such quiet strength. Why are you out this late? She finally asked. Ethan shrugged. Work, trying to keep things together for my kid. Something in the simplicity of his answer silenced her. When they reached town, the courthouse lights glowed through the rain. Ethan parked under the awning, and Olivia almost rushed out before stopping to look back at him, really look at him. You saved me today. If there's ever anything you need, anything I can do, just ask. He smiled faintly. I don't think life works that way. For people like me. She opened her mouth to respond, but her phone buzzed. A call, urgent, she answered, and as she walked toward the doors, Ethan heard the words that made his blood turn cold. Yes, I'm arriving now, she said. Tell the clerk Judge Olivia Carter is on her way. Judge Olivia Carter. The same judge presiding over his custody review next week. The same woman who now held his future and Lily's in her hands. And she didn't even know it. As she disappeared into the courthouse, Ethan felt the storm around him quiet compared to the storm now rising in his chest. If she remembered him, if she connected him to the struggling father in the case files, would she see him differently? Better, worse? He didn't know, but fate had just gotten involved, hard. And as he drove home through the rain, unaware that Lily's school was calling again, leaving another warning about unpaid fees and missed meetings, he had no idea that today's encounter was about to change everything. For him, for his daughter, and for the judge whose life was far more tangled than she let anyone see. And for viewers who believe in kindness, destiny, and miracles born from struggle, this story is just beginning. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss stories where fate rewards the good-hearted, justice finds its truth, and the impossible becomes real. The next morning, Ethan woke before sunrise, the sky still a dull blue as he quietly prepared Lily's breakfast, carefully slicing the single apple they had, left into thin pieces so it would look like more. Lily ran out of her room with the same bright smile she always had, her messy curls bouncing, her backpack nearly as big as her tiny body. "Daddy, are you coming to school today? You promised you'd talk to my teacher." Ethan froze for a moment, guilt pressing heavy on his chest. He had promised. But between overtime shifts, broken bills, and the upcoming custody review, time had slipped away like sand through tired fingers. "I'll try, sweetheart," he said softly, brushing her hair back. "But if I can't, just tell your teacher Dad's working hard, okay?" Lily nodded, trusting him completely. The trust that scared him because he wasn't sure how long life would let him keep her. After dropping her at school, Ethan headed straight to the scrapyard, where he sometimes found old car parts he could fix and sell for a few dollars. Every bit counted. As he dug through rusted metal, a voice behind him said, "Rough day already, huh?" It was Mark, the yard owner, shaking his head with sympathy. "Heard your custody hearing is coming up. You holding up?" Ethan forced a smile. "Trying my best," Mark sighed. "I wish the court could see the real you, not just paperwork." Those words weighed heavy. The court. Judge Olivia. Carter's face flashed in Ethan's mind. Her soaked hair, her calm but tired eyes, her voice filled with authority and pressure. She had looked human, not like someone who could take a child from her father. As Ethan walked home with a few salvaged parts, he wondered if she remembered him at all. Meanwhile, across town, Judge Olivia sat in her office staring at the same custody file she had been reviewing for days, the Hale case. A struggling father, limited income, unstable work hours, but a child who seemed deeply bonded to him. She tapped her pen slowly, feeling a strange pull of familiarity she couldn't place, as if she had seen this name somewhere outside of paper and ink. And in that quiet office, she whispered to herself, "Why does this case feel different?" Fate had begun stitching their lives together long before either of them realized.